Welcome to our championship edition of Breakfast from Roth. My name is Bob Babbitt. We are brought to you by Nitro and Flapjacked. 30th anniversary of Challenge Roth. Amazing race. And the woman who had a great one yesterday, 6-minute lead off the bike, Rachel Joyce, ended up finishing second. And I think, was that 8:42? Is that a personal best for you?
Yes, it is. I think that's about 3 minutes quicker than I did last time I was in Roth. So.
And when you won?
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a tougher day yesterday. I mean, it was really hot.
Yeah, so actually, so it was a lot hotter, right? Because I was here last year, and it seemed like people were melting a little bit out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can kind of expect like 25 degrees. But I think we had 30 plus out there, and the run is pretty exposed, so you really feel that heat.
Yeah. The run is basically, it seems like you go out forever. Yeah. Does it? Along that.
Then you get back on and you run the other way
forever. It just seems like it. So knowing that in Kona in October, you had the lead and Mirinda ran through.
Yeah.
You sort of probably had a sense, even with the 6-minute lead, that, or did you even know you had a 6-minute lead? Sometimes when you're leading, you don't really get much information.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, but around 5K, I got some information about what my lead was. And to be honest, I was like, I'd prefer 10 minutes, please.
Yes.
But, you know, you're very much focused on what you're doing when you get onto that run. And so it was all about, you know, going as fast as I could. And I felt like I ran pretty well out to the first turnaround point. And I saw Rinny, Caroline and Yvonne all pretty close together. Right. And I was like, they all look pretty good. So I actually then felt a little bit rough, and luckily a pro guy overtook me, and he had a really nice cadence. So I just kind of was like, just do what he's doing. And I kind of then held him for a while. I was like, maybe the time gap's not coming down. And yeah, but we know what happened.
We know what happened. When did Rinny come by?
I think it was about kilometer 29.
29 or 30,
so,
yeah. And like you guys you just had that in Kona when she went by, and it looked like you sort of shared a little. You smiled, she smiled, she went by. I mean, when someone's going by that fast, there's not much you can do about it.
This time I tried to hang on for a bit, actually, because in Kona she was going at such a different speed to what I was going. I just couldn't respond. Right. But I was like, you at least have to try and stick to her.
Yes.
So I tried that. It didn't last for long enough, unfortunately. But we did make a pact that we would save our racing for Kona in future.
Exactly. Well, it's funny because before the race, Rinny talked about, I'm not in Kona shape, and the reality is nobody's in Kona shape at this point in the middle of the season.
Yeah, it's, Kona's in 10 or 11 weeks, and you just, you build your fitness as the year goes on.
Sure.
So for most of the top women and men, you're always aiming to be at your peak in Kona, because that's the race. But then you want to perform at this race. So
if Kona's the number one race in the world, this is number two. This is very, especially in Europe.
It's different. The race day experience is very different, and I had a lot of family came out to watch it, and they had a blast. They were I think they were hyped up at the end when I saw them, and I almost signed up, I think, but then they checked themselves. Yeah.
Well, what's interesting is I came here this morning, and you see this line that goes to the train station for people to sign up for next year, and a lot of these people wearing shirts from yesterday.
Yeah.
They raced, they got in their sleeping bag, and they stayed all night to sign up for next year.
Yeah, it's amazing. I just couldn't believe how long that line was. Yeah. It's very professional because they've got people selling coffee on the
smart move. They might as well make money off these guys if they're going to sit out there all night. We might as well do that. Probably renting sleeping bags.
Yeah,
I like that. So, do you guys train it all together when you're in Boulder, you and Rinny?
We haven't done recently. We did a few rides over the winter when Rinny was getting ready to do Florida, and I was doing Cozumel later that year, and in the early part of the year, and then we have different training programs, and sometimes we can start out on a ride together, but more often than not, we're doing our different things and see each other socially more than
Exactly.
out
Is
on
it
the
is it
bike.
hard to train with somebody who obviously, there's one prize at these races? I mean, there's more than one prize, but there's one winner at these
Yes,
races,
yeah.
right? And in our sport, the winners get more than the second, third, and fourth.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, with
yeah.
sponsorship and everything else, is it hard to train with somebody that you have to beat on race day? Or, and the other side of that is, to get to the level you got to get to, you sort of need people who are at your level.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it kind of goes, it can work both ways.
Yeah.
And I think, we both have different coaches and different approaches. And so when it comes to the key sessions, it just wouldn't work
Right.
to train together. And also it kind of, you don't want to be race. I don't think we do when we train. It's not racing, but
Right.
You almost kind of want to save that something special for race day.
Right.
Yeah.
And like you said, we've sort of made a pact that we'll meet each other once a year, and sort of like, okay, if you're going to do Frankfurt, I'll do Roth. We'll
Yeah.
move it around. When you are racing someone like that, and she's going to push you to a certain level, how hard is it? Because you are going to a place that you might necessarily want to go to on race day, and it's hard to do that more than once a year.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of enjoy these big occasions as well. On the one hand, you're like, oh, I know this is just going to be a super hard day, but it makes, especially when you win. I didn't win yesterday,
Yes.
but it makes that extra satisfying. And I like, the reason I do sport is because I kind of want to get I want to be the absolute best that I
course.
can, and I think it's by coming to races with the big fields like this that you achieve that. And although you don't necessarily want to have these big races too often in a year, I definitely feel like I'll sit down with Dave and we'll take a lot of lessons from this race to prepare for Kona, and so it's actually really valuable as well as painful.
Well, actually, it does. It gives you a little more info, a little more ammunition
Yeah.
in terms of last time you raced, it was October, and
Yeah.
now you've had another experience where, like,
Yeah.
hey, she came by, but it wasn't the gone. She's here and she's gone. You were
Yeah.
able to stay for a while, so
So-
that plants a little bit of a seed of confidence for you. That okay, I know what I need to do, and it's a few months away.
Yeah, absolutely. And more determination as well, like second's good, but I like winning.
Of course
so
you want winning.
I've got the fire in my belly, and that's going to kind of motivate me in the next
Yeah.
few weeks of training.
What is it about this event for people who haven't been here before? And it's so hard because when you're here and there's the fireworks and just all the little details that are taken care of here that are very so spectacular, and riding up Solar Hill. What is it about this event that's not just from a professional perspective, but just from, like you said, your family was here and started getting into it?
Yeah, I think it's the experience. It's kind of what you feel as soon as you arrive in Roth. I'm staying with the same homestay I had 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're well informed. They know what the field's going to be. They know how to support the race, and there's this enthusiasm that builds through the week, and it's this massive crescendo on race day, and it does. You feel that when you're racing, and afterwards, the fact that the whole of the grandstand was full for
everybody.
Final finishes. Well,
Yeah.
right from start to finish.
Yeah, it was there from when you guys came in at 2, and then at 11:30 at night.
Yeah, and it's that atmosphere that is the same, I think, whether you're one of the first finishers or whether you're one of the last finishers.
Right.
You're respected and you're valued,
Yes.
whatever happens. And there's a real feeling that Felix and the whole family want everyone to have the best day ever, and you pick that up.
Don't you really? It's interesting because you can tell they care.
Yeah.
You can tell that everybody here cares. It's Jürgen Zach was talking about the spectators on the course, and he says, yeah, there's a couple 100,000 spectators, and they're all informed. They know who
Yes.
Rachel Joyce is. They know Miranda Carfray's bio.
Yeah.
And they're not just people who happen to come out and go, okay, there's a party on this hill, I'll come out here. They know what the
Yeah.
heck's going on.
No, absolutely. I got back and after the race yesterday, and I was speaking to my homestay hosts, and they said, oh, and then, Rinny got me, about kilometre 29 or 30, and they were like, well, you knew she was going to run fast. We've seen that.
Sort of like, well, duh. Of course she's coming. Is that a surprise to you? We do. Why wouldn't you know? That's funny. That is really funny.
Yeah, that's good.
What does the rest of your summer look like? A little time off before?
Yeah, we're going to head down to the south of Germany for a week, and my family are all down there vacationing. So we're going to have a week of relaxation.
Nice.
Then back to Boulder and make sure I'm fully recovered, and then it's going to be a build into Kona. And I'm not sure whether I'll race again. I think maybe I'll just focus on the training and get ready.
You know how to race. You
Yes.
You don't really need to prove anything to yourself.
To keep practicing.
The other thing that always impresses me, I can't imagine being in Kona on Thursday evening and having all you guys wearing lederhosen and hanging out and drinking beer together. Just that to me is the ultimate difference between the Kona week and Roth.
Yeah, there's definitely. We're a little more relaxed,
You
I
think?
think come Kona, like we don't leave our condos unless necessary,
Exactly.
and it's
and you've
kind
got
of nice.
people sort of buffering, right?
Yeah,
people
exactly.
keeping people away from you.
Yeah, but it's nice to have that fun and relaxed feel before this race, because it's good to be serious for one race a year,
Exactly.
but you can't do that for every race. We do this because we love
love it.
Yeah.
Do you ever think, gosh, I could still be a lawyer? I could still be sitting in a cubicle somewhere?
I sometimes have that nightmare.
It would be a nightmare, wouldn't it? Is this just like the best thing?
Oh, it's. I still don't really believe that this is.
It's all happened so fast.
Yeah, like it's such a transition, and I thought I kind of have continued to kind of. What I thought I could do in the sport, it's kind of increased as I've gone on, and I really appreciate kind of that I've been able to kind of do this full time and call it my job.
And you can always go back to being a lawyer. There's really no age limit on that.
There's always that, yeah.
You can always fall back on that.
Yes, yeah.
If this try thing doesn't work out for some reason.
Yeah. I was a construction lawyer, so if I fall on hard times, I'm your woman.
Rachel, thanks so much for taking time. Okay. See, I did provide breakfast.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Yes. No, I don't know. Yeah. No calories at all.
Yeah.
Look at that. We really do have breakfast from Roth. My name is Bob Abbott. That has been Rachel Joyce. We are sponsored by Flapjack and Nitro. You can check our shows out on Babbittville. And Mr. Rayner, who swam an hour and a half yesterday,
oh wow,
is going to take us out on the accordion. Thank you, Rayner.